All right. So, today we're going to fix my toilet. This particular toilet works just fine, but the valve, fill valve, decides it wants to kick on every once in a while, even though the water's, it's garbage, it's old, needs to be replaced. Plain and simple. Now, I went to Lowe's, and you can get a kit like this, Lowe's, Walmart, Home Depot, whatever. I would recommend getting the one with the flapper. If you're going to be in there changing everything, you might as well change that guy out too. It's only a couple bucks, right? So this whole thing right here is like $20. Hey, Terry. And again, you can get these universal fit. 99% of toilets this will work on, I would imagine, unless you got some fancy gold toilet. You're not fixing it yourself anyway, so it's not going to matter. You're going to get one of these guys. With me so far? All right. All right, so we're going to spin this thing around here and switch the camera around. All right. Come on, stupid thing. There we go. So, pardon me, I'm not a professional here. First thing we're going to want to do is, of course, turn the water off. There we go. No need to torque it down or anything like that. Next thing I want to do is go ahead and flush it. That'll drain a majority of the water out of the tank for me. And then I'll start undoing this. There will be some residual water inside the tank. So I'm going to run, I got a little pan I'm going to get real quick. I forgot to bring it with me. Give me just a second. We'll put the pan down there to catch whatever water spills once I take this off. Because this is where the fill valve is inside the tank. Give me just a second. All right, so if you're familiar with my videos, especially the live ones, I am never 100% prepared. So, there you go. A little tray, something to catch the water. And let's see, we can take the lid off the tank, look inside, see how much water we're dealing with. Still got a bunch in there. Gotta hold the handle and get a lot of that drained out if possible. And, yeah. That's going to help out. I'm going to reach in here under this flap there. Okay. I think I got most of the water drained out. Some is still going down, and that's just the nature of it. We're working outside mostly right here, especially in the beginning. So what we want to do is get a pair of pliers, a crescent wrench or something like that if you want, whatever you got. And you're going to want to undo this guy. We're just going to take it. It shouldn't be on there super tight. If it is, just be careful. This stuff has got its own rubber seals and things like that. It should just be finger tight. There's no reason to torque it down. Maybe a little bit more than finger tight, but just, All right. We're going to get some more stuff going on here. Now, if an excessive amount of water spills, it's not that big of a deal. It's clean water. It's not sewage water in your tank. Some people don't understand that for some reason. But some people didn't graduate high school either. So what are you going to do? This is just a plastic nut that comes off of here. Again, this all should be very easy to do. Now, if this stuff was super tight and hard to get off, I would suggest having somebody look inside the tank, make sure the porcelain isn't cracked or something like that. You don't want to may have a bigger problem than you thought. Open this guy up. So this is what's down in there. I just undid this part on the outside of the toilet. This is my gasket. I'll show you the top-down view when I install this as well, and that's what I'm about to pull out of the tank. That's not too bad. I caught a majority of the water. There you go. Not a big deal. This guy here, let me move the camera back a little bit. So this guy here sits inside the tank, right? This thing goes up and down based on how much water's in the tank, and you can adjust it to higher or lower, to hold more water, make a bigger flush, all kinds of stuff like that. You can twist this guy, make it go higher or lower as well, depending on the size of the tank. That's why it's universal, okay? So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, since I got it in this position, I'm gonna open up this little guy here. And I could use the old plastic nut if I wanted to. It looks just as good as the other one, but I got a new one. Why wouldn't I just go ahead and use the new one? Like that. And then I'll show you what I'm looking at on the inside in just a second. Again, I'm just going to get this finger tight. I'm not going to use pliers on it. There's no need to. You don't want to, it's plastic. You don't want to crack it, split it, and you have leaks and stuff later on. You come home one day and your bathroom's flooded. And then you blame me. Now, I'm not a professional. I just know how to do stuff. I've learned this stuff over time. A lot of these kits have instructions on them. Super easy stuff to follow. If you're nervous or hesitant, then get a plumber to do it. But these kits aren't that hard to deal with. Now I've got a flex line. Some may have a solid plastic tube that's kind of rigid. I like the flexible reinforced line better myself. I'm glad it's already there. I can wiggle it around. I can get things adjusted, and it just makes life easier. So we've done that part. Let's move our camera. Get up here on the big tripod. I did have that prepared. Let's make sure I don't drop it in the toilet. The toilet is closed. Wouldn't that make for a great video? Now, I dropped one of those tablets in there to kind of keep the thing clean. So anyway, this is where I set the new one. I've got a hose that's going to come off of here, so you want to keep that in mind when you're installing this, which direction the stuff is facing. Now, water's going to come out underneath this blue cap, spray down into the tank, and fill it up based on this float that you have. This is the hose that comes around and goes down this tube. This tube takes it down and kind of fills the bowl back up. You see that trickling water after you flush the toilet? That's what that is right there. Down there's my old flapper. I'm looking at it now. This one may not be big enough. I don't think it is. I may have to keep the old flapper. Aqua Source is the name of this brand. So the only thing that's not compatible is the flapper. I didn't really look in that, take into consideration. It looks like it's in decent condition. So I guess I'm going to have to leave it. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Now you'll get this little clip that clips it onto this guy here. And I like using it better than the built-in one because it's really going to hold it. It's got this barbed end on it, so that when you put the hose on there, it's not going to come off and pop off and spray all over the place. You just want to fasten. That's not coming off. Cut my finger earlier, reaching down to a box of tools, and I had a razor knife down there and didn't know it and cut myself. That's another story, another video. So I want to get that to spray down in here. Come on. There we go. Try to get this hose to come around. And it can spin around and loop any way you want it to. It's not that big of a deal. So, probably could have done this another way. Let's pull that off. Give myself some room here. There's not a lot of pressure on this part of it, the mechanism. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. All right, and there it is. Now this is going to take a few times of trying to gauge how much water I want inside there. And we'll turn the water back on. We'll let it fill up and then we'll adjust it. Now I told you how the bottom of it will extend if I twist it. And I'm really close to the top here, so that's fine. If I were to decide to twist it, make it longer, I would have to take the whole thing apart, adjust it, and then put it in there. So if you need this to be higher, you can make it higher or lower. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It came, I adjusted a little bit. I kind of had an idea how I wanted it. So there we go. The bigger, this is what I'm going to play with the most right here. And that tells the mechanism when the bowl is full, when I want the water to actually shut off. And there you have it, boys and girls. Yay, I did it. And even with messing and talking with video equipment and everything else, the clock on here says 12 minutes. So, with me explaining, running back and forth, and getting everything done, it's a 15-minute job. It's not that big of a deal. So, let me go ahead and lift the lid here underneath the tripod. We're going to flush it and test it. And that's a good flush. Now, if you didn't, in the bowl, it didn't swirl around enough and you didn't feel like it had enough water pushing everything away, then you're going to want to make this adjust this float knob here to where the tank will hold more water and give you a bigger flush. Just the opposite. If it just keeps going and it's just flushing like crazy, pouring all kinds of water down the drain, you can adjust it to where it won't put as much water in the tank and make it work that way. So there you go, boys and girls. Flip this camera around. Here I am. Hey! So yeah, that's how you do it. The kit, like I said, is the Universal Flow Master. Fluid Master is a good brand. It's backwards because of the camera. I thought this would work just fine. I hadn't looked in there. I just know that it kept kicking on, and I was like, I gotta change the thing. So, but yeah, this one's got a huge opening at the bottom of the tank. It needs a huge flapper. That's like a 3-inch flapper or something like that. These are for the other ones, more modern. You just check them out, the brand of your toilet, and you can get that done. And Bob's your uncle. All I got to do now is put the lid back on, clean some of the waste water just spilled out of that spilled around. No big deal. And yeah, no curtain. This is like a what do you call it? Stained glass window type thing. You can't see through it. And I have a fenced-in backyard. And if somebody wants to watch me poop, more power to them. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back on in a little bit doing something else random. Who knows? Stay cool. Have a great day, guys. Bye.